Hello and welcome to the 100-day art challenge. This is going to be video number 55. So we are past the halfway mark and we are barreling towards the end. Now we've got a way to go yet, so I'm still on the oil painting still life section. This is a bit of a concept painting that I decided to do. So I'm getting down a brown ground colour. This is something which I've seen other painters do, so at the moment I'm still at the point of mimicry because I really don't know oil painting as well as I should, so I'm trying to familiarise myself with the medium as well as possible, as thoroughly as I can. But you may have noticed, I don't know how many of these videos you've watched, but you may have noticed I am using as my medium linseed oil and not white spirit or terps. Because of the space that I paint in, I don't like the idea of having the terps or white spirit open that much, because it just makes it a stuffy and unpleasant atmosphere and air quality. So I'm using linseed oil. Plus I once was one of the interviewers of an artist called Sonia Buchalter, and she mentioned that she only uses linseed oil to make her paintings, and that stuck in my head, and I thought I didn't really know that was possible. So I'm just going to use terps and white spirits to clean the brush, and I'm going to use linseed oil as the medium to push around the paint. So that's what I decided to do. For this painting I am using a photograph that I took of a big teddy bear in a chair. It's Benjamin the bear sat in his chair in the living room, and I thought it just looks nice. It's got nice bright colours, it's a lovely little scene, and it's one of several paintings that I'm going to revisit after this challenge is done to finish off and make a few adjustments, because in hindsight there are several aspects which I think could be improved upon. Now, one benefit that I've found of the way that I've painted this is that you saw me put on a ground colour in this light brown. It's basically a burnt umber with lots of linseed oil. And one of the benefits of this is that you can take your rag or your tissue that I have on the side there and wipe off certain parts of the ground colour, which I'm doing a little bit there to make adjustments. When you do that, it really lightens the area, which means that you are moving the surface area from mid-tone into the light, which is quite handy. It's a really quick adjustment you can make. So if you paint something and you've now got a mid-tone colour over a whole section, whereas you only need it over, say, 60% of it, you can wipe back that additional 40% and retain a light area where you otherwise would have only the mid-tone colour. That's a tip that I got from Marjorie Hicks. I used a reference from her in yesterday's video. I will leave a link in the top right hand corner of the screen now, and that's yesterday's video which I uploaded, that was based on a reference that she painted as part of a workshop, and I found that on her Instagram account. Now, it's quite a small surface area that I've committed to painting on for the majority of these paintings. In fact, I think it's all of them so far, these still life paintings that I've been uploading. Now, I did do a couple of paintings on medium to small medium sized canvases for plein air sketches that I did before I started this series, but because those weren't very successful, it made me take a step back and reassess what I wanted to achieve, and it was basically to have a more thorough education with the paint, to make sure that I knew what I was doing, so that if I am painting out in public again, I wouldn't have to struggle and learn on the job. I could actually rely upon a certain amount of experience in order to play with the paint. And then you'll always make a certain amount of discoveries as part of the process of painting in the field, as it were, because that's just the nature of it. And if anything, you should really embrace the occasional accident or mistake or unpredictable elements that occur in the painting process, because those are where a lot of invention and creativity can be captured and utilized, and that's what I try to do. But for this is just back to school style of learning, where I'm in a controlled environment. I have a certain amount of references that I'm picking through, and I'm trying to advance my knowledge step by step and increase the difficulty and the varying subject matters throughout this sub-series within the 100-day challenge. The sub-series being oil painting still life sub-series that I'm doing at the moment. So that's been everything from cars, as in toy cars, and fruit in a bowl, and all kinds of things. And the last one, the last video, was a model, which would be a portrait that I got from Marjorie Hicks. That was slightly more difficult, but it was a very minimal scene. So this is similar in a way, even though this is still life, but it's more similar to the portrait painting that I did in yesterday's video, because it has more of a personality to it than still life normally has. Still life is more stripped back to basic elements, and this feels as if you're trying to capture a personality in an environment, much like I did in yesterday's portrait video. And also the environmental aspects are slightly more involved than they were in yesterday's video as well. But you can see how it's progressing. It's a very limited palette. It's not an especially large amount of colours or difficulty to it. The most difficult aspect of this is the angles and the tonality, and I really enjoy trying to get those things right. So I think it's quite a sweet, bright scene. It's a pleasant looking painting. It's nothing too challenging to look at or to interpret, but it was slightly challenging to paint just because of trying to capture the textures and the tonality, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's the painting I did. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow.